This is your morning coffee, the coffee, Monday morning affirmations, and we are continuing with the Buddhism reading cards by Sofan Chan, who created all this beautiful artwork in these great colors. I highly recommend this deck. I think that it is definitely something that you would use again and again because these are lessons that we have to kind of chip away at, in life. Now, today's card that I drew for us this morning is Pure Livelihood, number 9. And it says, your work is to discover your world. And then with all of your heart, give yourself to it. And that's from Buddha. Inside each of us, there is a longing to do work that helps others experience greater happiness and joy, work that builds a better world. Consciously choose not to harm others in your work environment and endeavor to find inner joy and job satisfaction in your employment. Know that the love you put into your work will inspire personal growth. And this is again the card of Pure Livelihood. Really, I love this artwork. And here is face of Buddha for that. And while you look at this artwork, I'm just going to further clarify that card of Pure Livelihood. And this is the 5th Noble Eightfold Path. So again, your work is to discover your world, and then with all of your heart, give yourself to it. Buddha. So your work is to discover your world. And that to me is also like you're just meant to discover what in this world you can find something to be passionate about that helps your community and that you really enjoy doing. So it's a win-win, and you're generating really positive karma. Here is the write-up, all right? Inside each of us, there is longing to do work that helps others experience greater happiness and joy. Like I said, work that builds a better world. Everyone dreams of finding the perfect, well-paid job that provides a secure future and assumes that this secure future will bring happiness. But how many people have found this to be true? They say none. Instead, are you able to make a conscious choice to follow your heart's longing and make a living by doing something that you actually love, regardless of how difficult it is to manage the fear and insecurity associated with an unknown future? Question mark. So by practicing purity of livelihood, you will consciously choose not to harm others in your work environment. And by that, that includes, where you're thinking hard thoughts, about somebody that you may not get along with, and that you just don't feed into that. When you catch yourself doing that, you just go, no, I'm going to go in try to go, do something more constructive rather than not, rather than a negative. So that to me is what they're saying. Obviously, most people would not choose to go in and do harm in their work environment unless they're really troubled. But I think, so I want to clarify with this, and I think most of you understand that. But that's what I interpret that to mean. So it says here, by practicing purity of livelihood, you will consciously choose not to harm others in your work environment and will endeavor to find inner joy and job satisfaction in your employment. Know that the love you put into your work will inspire personal growth. Ultimately, As you continue to do this practice, you will create a quote unquote livelihood that allows you to assist other people's happiness and well being as well as your own. So it's a call also to do work that you really enjoy doing and to make that a important thing to do in your life. Make that be where you're going to earn your livelihood. And look for within that job something that's super, super positive that gives back to society. And to take the risk to do something that contributes to society, if that is especially, where your passions are in some way, you want to put positive in the world with the work that you're doing. So it's calling you to be brave and to, make where your love, where your passion is, that can benefit society as how you sustain yourself, and to take that challenge or to do more of it, and get yourself maybe into at least a better manageability of your situation until you can find perhaps something that can pay your bills and that your passion, can assist society. So your strong work ethics alone provide you with the courage to walk into uncharted territory with certainty, regardless of others' disapproval and rejection, and in doing so remain true to yourself. When you are living your life's purpose, working with pure intention and a heightened awareness that is true to yourself, you will awake with vigor and inspiration every morning, enthusiastically ready to serve the world with your special gifts and talents. That's very true. So, I know that not everybody can just instantly make that change. It could happen gradually. And for many people it does. But that's why, if there is something that you can bring to your community, to the world in some way, but always think local first, then make the effort to make that happen. And things will grow out of that. Even if it's just kind of a side hobby that you're doing, start that way. But make sure that you are doing something that does benefit your community, or even online community, because that's powerful too. We can't always, especially with COVID and things like that, and other issues with health sometimes, disabilities, such and so forth, that online sometimes is where we are most effective. And don't kid yourself, that is very effective work if you choose that way to bring forward some positivity in the world. So when you are living your life's purpose, yes, working with pure intention, heightened awareness, where you're being true to yourself, where you're honoring what your passion is, you do wake up with I'm ready to get started. I have this to do, and you're not dreading every single day. It makes a difference. So I highly recommend that even if you can't immediately make this change, bring it in through some means, whether it's a channel or Meals on Wheels or something like that, seriously. So the reflection is, are you able to give your heart and soul completely to your work and your calling? Are you willing to try to do that? And as I said, I don't think anybody necessarily can just immediately make this jump if there is, that there are sometimes complicated ties there. But I understand what they're saying. However, I would say if you can't make that kind of a sudden change, um, make sure that, as I said, some area in your life that you're doing this kind of work for your community, bringing something positive, or even the online community, whether it's just entertainment or food for thought, but something positive, and that is helpful in whatever way you can do that. So you want to reflect on it. If you are able, are you able to give your heart and soul completely, I think, not just to your work but your calling? And they're saying making your calling your work, that is ideal. And certainly that is something to aspire to, especially if you're not happy with where you are. I think sometimes a change is as good as a rest, as they say. Now, the action, here's your homework, is to write a list of all your special skills and talents and the ways that they can serve the world. All right, and these do not have to be, like I said, it can be delivering meals to those that are, shut in or elderly, disabled, have other issues. It can be working at a food bank. It can be, helping in a variety of ways. So you don't have to do something like read cards unless you enjoy doing that, or quit your job and create some sort of method to serve the public. That's ideal. That's something that, though, you might be able to work on and while you are shifting and shifting over to doing your work that is your passion. So just food for thought. All right. I hope you have a great week. We'll roll this one around and come back to it from time to time, and ensure that somehow, some way in your life you are, I feel, definitely doing something you're passionate about that brings positivity to community, whether it's online, reaching people online, or directly locally by things that you can do. And like I said, you may not think that you have any talent, but can you drive a car? Okay, well, you could do Meals on Wheels. You could do doing errands for an elderly neighbor, or somebody, like, look and find the need and see where your passion may lie. Because that, if you feel like, that's something that needs to be fixed, that's not right, there's a passion you have. And see what you could maybe do to alter that if you see something you don't like in your community or world, or somebody in need. All right? Okay. Anyway, have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.